Hello, hello, hello. I know I'm sending a lot of videos of me talking and even just talking in general lately. There's just a lot of reasons for that, but just want to throw that out the window. As a sidebar note, there's something that's really on my heart to share. And it's really just the fact of the matter of maybe something we need to discuss more as, people like myself who can have an influence on our justice system. Influencers, or people who aren't in the influencer community or just working in other industries. We really need to ask ourselves how we need to reform the justice system in America, because to this day, there's times where I'm outraged by what I see on YouTube. I'm outraged by the continual police brutality that is out of hand. I am even disgusted by how my friend and brother, Brent Kopacka, died. I know people might say, well, you need to let that go and move on. And it's like, I suppose, but if I let go of what happened to him, then I'm doing him a disservice. I will never forget what happened to him. I will forgive, but I will never forget what happened to him. I believe the way he died was uncalled for. There was no justification. There was no excuse for the way the officer dealt with him. I really believe that they should have found a different way to deal with the situation. But see, that's the problem, is a lot of times in a lot of situations, cops are trained to really just put a quick end to things, even if it means killing somebody. And sometimes, of course, I'm not a cop and I never want to be, but I think these individuals get so exposed to such extreme training to punish people that it gets to their head a lot of times. I swear to God, because when I look at what's going on in our country even today, and when I see the result of what happened to a veteran who really was trying his best to fight for our liberties at the expense of his mental health, it really disgusts me that that officer didn't lose his license, that officer did not face penalties and face charges for what he did, because it's just outrageous. It's outrageous. It's outrageous that people in our country don't feel safe around cops half the time. Like, I don't even feel safe around a police officer half the time. I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel more safe around someone off the street that's doing drugs than someone that is a police officer, because I know the system is so rigged and it's just so broken and so screwed up. And I know that really at the end of the day, the way they are trained, they're not really trained to really serve our best interest. It's really for the government's best interest and the interest of other organizations, said organizations that we probably don't even know about, I've never heard of, maybe even cults for all I know. Whatever. So, at the end of the day, we need to ask ourselves, if the government isn't wanting to change things for what needs to happen, then we have to figure out how we want to create reform, because the government's not going to do anything about it. They clearly aren't really going to step in to change these laws from my point of view. And so, instead of relying on the law to change, these things, the laws that are being passed down, we need to work together, because the justice system needs to be reformed. There should be no police brutality. I think the way things are handled and by police need to be dealt with a lot more harshly. Because for me, it's a nightmare having to wake up half the time, knowing that this kind of thing goes on more often than not, and it's really disgusting. So, love you, everyone who's watching this, and know that just know that in a time of unpredictability, we can stick together.